Level 1. The Wild Horse. You are 12 years old. Pella, 344 BC. The black stallion kills men. 3 trainers are already broken in the dirt. The horse bucks. It screams. Its eyes roll white. Your father waves it away. Worthless animal. Send it back. Something in you refuses. You step into the ring before anyone can stop you. The dust stings your throat. The horse's shadow twists on the ground, and the beast rears every time it sees it. That is the secret. The horse is afraid of its own shadow. You turn its face into the sun. The shadow vanishes behind it. The muscles beneath your palm go still. You mount. You ride. Your father weeps in front of the whole court. Macedon, he says, is too small for you. A seed is planted that afternoon. It will swallow continents. Level 2. The Philosopher's Grove. You are 14. 342 BC. A grove of plane trees in the hills of Mieza. The greatest mind in Greece has been hired to teach you. He arrives with scrolls under his arm and opinions about everything. Geometry, medicine, politics, the anatomy of a frog, the structure of the human soul. You copy the Iliad in your own hand. Achilles sleeps beneath your pillow. A short life of glory, a long life of nothing. The choice is already made. The other noble boys train beside you. Generals' sons, companions. You share meals, wrestling mats, bruises. You learn their names by heart. These boys will follow you to the edge of the world. Half will never see home again. You are already memorizing faces you will one day bury. Level 3. The Regent's Gambit. You are 16. 340 BC. Your father rides north to besiege a Greek port. He leaves you the kingdom. A northern tribe reads the empty throne as opportunity. They raid, they burn. You march within weeks. No hesitation, no consultation. You crush them in a single campaign. You plant a city on the smoking ground. You give it your own name, Alexandropolis. You are 16, and there is already a city that bears you. 2 years later, on a plane called Chaeronea, you command the left wing while your father holds the right. You charge the sacred band of Thebes, 300 elite warriors, lovers bonded in pairs, never broken in 40 years. You break them. Every one of them dies in formation. Your father embraces you on the field. It is the last time he will ever fully trust you. Level 4. The Wedding Blade. You are 20. 336 BC. An autumn morning in the old capital. Your father marries off your sister. Trumpets, wine, the theater full of foreign ambassadors. Your father walks into the arena ahead of his bodyguards, smiling, alone in the sunlight for 8 seconds. One of his own guards steps from the crowd. A short Celtic dagger, 12 paces, 3 heartbeats. The king bleeds out on the marble. You are crowned before the body cools. Then the purge. Cousins, half-brothers, generals with opinions, anyone with a drop of royal blood. You do not sleep for a week. You do not blink. The court learns a new rule very quickly. The child king is not a child. Level 5. The Burning. You are 21. 335 BC. A rumor reaches a southern Greek city that you are dead. Thebes rises. They slaughter your garrison in the streets. You march south at impossible speed, over 300 miles in 14 days. Your soldiers' feet bleed through their sandals. The gates of the city are still celebrating when your army appears on the horizon. The siege lasts a week. On the 8th morning, the walls break. 6,000 dead in the gutters by nightfall. 30,000 dragged away in chains and sold. An entire city, one of the oldest in Greece, stops existing. You spare one house, the home of a poet, dead a century. Everything else burns. Every Greek city sends ambassadors within the month. None of them revolt again in your lifetime. The message is carved into the ashes. Level 6. The Spear in the Sand. You are 22. 334 BC. The narrow strait between Europe and Asia. You stand at the prow of the lead ship. Behind you, 35,000 men. Behind them, a century and a half of Greek grievance. Persia burned the temples of Athens within living memory of your grandfather's grandfather. Today, the accounting begins. You hurl a spear over the water. It thuds into the sand of Asia. You leap after it. You cut your foot on a stone as you land. Asia is yours by right of first blood. That is the story you will tell. Weeks later, at the Granicus River, the Persian cavalry waits on the far bank with lances leveled. You charge across the water. Arrows fall. A Persian sword cleaves the plume from your helmet. The blade misses your skull by the width of a finger. 20,000 Persians break by sunset. The gate of Asia is wide open. Level 7. The Knot. You are 23, 333 BC. A dusty town in the heart of Anatolia. They show you a rope, an ancient knot tied into a wagon yoke. A prophecy says whoever unravels it will rule Asia. Priests watch. Soldiers watch. An empire holds its breath. You study the knot for one moment. You draw your sword. You cut it in half. Months later, on a narrow plain near the sea, the great king himself brings an army. Darius, king of kings, 100,000 strong. You charge directly at his golden chariot. You cut through his royal guard, through his relatives, through his household cavalry. He sees your face. He runs. He abandons his mother, his wife, his daughters in the royal tent. You capture them that night. You treat them with honor. You bow to his mother as if she were your own. Inside, you are already thinking 300 miles ahead. Level 8. The Ocean Walk. You are 24, 332 BC. A city built on an island half a mile from shore. Tyre. Walls rising straight out of the waves. A harbor protected by bronze-tipped towers. The richest port in the world. They refuse your terms. You decide to walk to them. You order a causeway, a road through the Mediterranean. Your engineers tear down farmhouses, forests, an entire mainland city for timber and stone. 7 months. Fire ships. Divers cutting your anchor ropes underwater. Boiling sand poured from the walls, finding the gaps in your soldiers' armor. Men scream and tear off their own breastplates. You do not stop. The walls fall. You crucify 2,000 survivors along the new-made shore. Egypt opens its gates without a fight. Level 9. The Son of the God. You are still 24. Winter. 332 BC. A desert oasis at the edge of the known map. You cross the burning sands with a small escort. Sandstorms nearly swallow the column. Scouts claim 2 ravens guide you to water. The priest in the temple looks at you and calls you Son of the God. You walk out into the sun a different man. You found a city on the Mediterranean coast where the delta meets the sea. Wide boulevards, a deep harbor, a library that will one day hold every book on earth. Alexandria, one of many cities you have named after yourself. You have begun to lose count. The world has started organizing itself around what you choose to call things. Level 10. The Last Stand of the King of Kings. You are 25. October 331. A plain called Gaugamela. Darius has brought his final army. Scythed chariots, war elephants, archers so numerous the horizon disappears behind them. Your generals beg you to attack at night. You refuse. You will not steal what you can take in daylight. At dawn, you ride at an oblique angle. You stretch his line thin. You find the gap. You charge him. Again. Darius runs. Again. Months later, his own officers stab him in the back of a cart to buy their own lives. You find his body on the road. You cover it with your own cloak. You bury him as a king. Every throne between Greece and India now belongs to you. Level 11. The Spear at the Feast. You are 28. 328 BC. A palace in Samarkand. You are drunk. The lamps are low. The wine is mixed too strong. A general mocks you at the table. He says you are dressing like a Persian. He says your father was the greater man. The room holds its breath. You reach for a spear. Hands grab your arms. You tear free. You throw. He is dead before his cup hits the floor. He saved your life at Granicus. 6 years ago, he cut down the Persian whose blade was already descending on the back of your skull. You lock yourself in your chambers for 3 days. You will not eat. You beg the guards to kill you. You come out colder, quieter, less a king, more a weather system. Level 12, the mutiny at the river. You are 30, 326 BC. Monsoon rain in the Punjab. You have just fought a king with 200 war elephants. They trampled your horses into red mud. Bucephalus did not survive the battle. The black horse from the courtyard. 18 years of companionship. You bury him yourself. You found a city over his grave. You want to keep marching, past the Ganges, past another ocean, past the edge of the maps. Your soldiers sit down in the rain. They will not rise. 8 years of marching, forgotten wives, children they have never held. You scream. You sulk in your tent for 3 days. You threaten. The army does not move. For the first time in your life, you are not obeyed. You turn back. The desert road home will kill more of your men than every battle combined. Level 13, the fever in Babylon. You are 32, June 323 BC. Your closest friend since boyhood has died of fever months earlier. You cut your hair in grief, like Achilles in the old book. You stop eating. You stop sleeping. You stare at walls for entire afternoons. At a long banquet, you drink wine until dawn. A pain opens in your gut. It does not close. 12 days in bed. Your generals crowd the doorway. One asks to whom you leave the empire. You whisper 2 words, to the strongest. They write it down. They glance at each other. Your body is still warm when they begin cutting the empire into pieces. Within 50 years, every friend in this room will have killed every other. Every city you founded will wear a different king's face. You took the throne at 20. You conquered the known world in 12 years. You wept once because there were no worlds left to take. You were wrong. There was always one thing no conqueror defeats: the ordinary human body. You ran out of world, and now you are history.